Hello everybody and welcome to my first Flash animation, and this is what we're going to be producing. Here we are, our little train, choo choo, over and over, long train coming. That is what we're aiming for, and I've got the finished fly here so you can kind of keep an eye on what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and I'll talk you through the layers really quickly. We've got a background, we've got a title, Long Train Coming, an old song, Doobie Brothers, and then I've got grass, a rectangle with grass, then I've got a tree, and then railway tracks, and we've got the train, which is, here he is, off the edge there, and then oh yeah, your name on it, just, so this is your work. And you could take it home and put it in your fridge, if it would fit. Oh, so this is what we're aiming for. All right. What we'll do to start on is we're going to go up to File, New. We're going to go with AS3. 2 or 3 really doesn't make any difference at this level, none whatsoever. Click, up it comes. I am going to shove this out the way just so that you can see a little bit better what's happening. In fact, I'll make this one smaller. That will be better, and then we've got more room to work on here. So far, so good. I'm going to have fit in window, Viola. We have our new document. I'm going to save it. Control S to save. I'm going to dump it my desktop. Train. That's good for me. And then we're going to go to modify the document. Control J there's the shortcut, Control J, and we are going to make these dimensions 500 by 300, but don't bust a gust, folks. It's whatever you want. I'm going to have a blue color. Bing, there's mine. But you can just swivel around in here and choose your own, and if you know the hex value number, go for it. I believe that's it, 12 pixels, and then OK, and of course I missed it. Done. And you can also see it down here. You could work, you don't have to do Control J. If you get the properties window and then you want properties, it'll pop up too. So far so good. Now this is the timeline. This is the stage. These are your palettes. These over here, these are the tools. There they all are. Should look pretty familiar to Photoshop and all that good stuff. And this is your property taskbar at the bottom. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some text. Right. Text tool. There it is, looking remarkably familiar. Click. And then I can see what my fonts look like. And you can go on and on and on. I've got, I don't know, I think I've got about 1800 in here. I never get past A. So that'll do. And then you change your color here, text fill, and you click around, get whichever one you want. I'm going to stick with, I'll have red. And the size, bigger and smaller, but you can do anything you like and then adjust it later, And you do not have to type this at all, you just need to type some kind of text. And then I make it smaller. I don't want it to be absolutely ginormous. What about that Rennie Mackintosh? Oh, bon appetit, bolster. There we go, bolster. Fab. And then this guy over here, this is free transform, and look the fly out. If you do Q, you get on free transform on, and you can make it bigger. Yep. And then this guy here, this is the selection tool, V on the keyboard, and you can move them around. And I'm using the control key. And if I use shift, I would move 5. Shift and right arrow, I move 5 pixels. Otherwise, it's just 1 pixel. And I am going to rename this train title. Very similar, isn't it, to Photoshop in terms of layers and what have you. And you click in here, and you can, as I say, you can change it here. You can go up to text, font, do your stuff there too. Okay, now symbols. Symbols are an important concept to understand. Everything has to be a symbol in Flash. And there are 3 types. You can have movie clip, button, and graphic. I am going to recommend that everything right now is going to be a movie clip. Movie clips mean you can animate them. You may not want to animate the graphic, but you know, I'm going to stick with movie clips because I just do. So I highlight with the V tool, with the selection tool. I go up to modify and convert to symbol. The shortcut is F8. F8 to convert to symbol. I have to go up to modify, convert to symbol because my keyboard is wireless and the hotkeys are different. So convert to symbol. Okay, I'm going to call this train text, and I'm going to make it a movie clip. We don't want any buttons right now. That would be for, you know, websites and stuff. It could be a graphic because actually this is not going to be animated in any way. Make sure that your registration stays the same. We'll talk about that another time. So, okay, now look over here. In the palette, this is your library palette, you now have a copy of a movie clip called Train Text, and you can drag it out umpteen times. And the good thing about this is that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 instances of Long Train Coming text, but for websites purposes, it's only 1. It like points to over here, so it's very small. Helps with compression. Alrighty, so much for symbols. Now layers are very similar to Photoshop. Very important. Everything has to be on its own layer. If you start putting several things on one layer, you'll be in such a pickle. So now what we're going to do is draw our grass tool. So I'm going to zoom out just a little tadette. Oh, control minus doesn't work. 100. There we go. I want a new layer. If you see, here it is over here. A good trick, folks, lock your title. Lock the layer if you're not using it, honestly. New one. Double click grass. Okay. And then I am going to get my rectangle tool and then get the fly out, but R for rectangle. There it is. I want no line. This is a stroke color. This is the fill color. I'm going to click here and over to this one. I'm going to press this down. This means null. No, no, no. Do not want. So no stroke. And then my background color is going to be some kind of a grassy green. I'm cheating, obviously. And then I'm just going to draw. And you could be outside on the grey because it doesn't matter. It's not going to show. That is lovely. Control S to save. You know, maybe I want it to be a little bit bigger with the transform tool. Okay, so far so good. Control S to save. Fabulous. And we need to convert this. Click on this. V. And we're going to modify F8, convert to symbol, and this is going to be grass. There we're building up our library assets. You could get away with not doing this, but this is us learning a lot of vocabulary, a lot of easy stuff that will cause you problems if you don't do it later. Okay, so now, oh, if you can't see your library, go up to Window and then you can scroll down to Library, and there it is. So, cling, gone, or just Control L to bring up the library. And now we're going to start drawing our tree. lock grass layer, create new layer, double click, call tree. I'm going to do the tree head first and then the stump. They're the wrong words, but I just recovered from swine flu, so bear with me. I'm going to get my, click over here, oval tool. Now this time you see I kind of want that green, dark green on the outside, light green on the inside. And so, isn't it dark green here, and then light green? Nah. Well, that would do. I can get it from over here too. I specifically want that color, and I specifically want for the stroke, I specifically want that color. Fab. Okay, so now I'm going to draw something that looks vaguely, please do not laugh at my artistic efforts, I'm trying my very best. And down here in the properties you can have like bigger and smaller, you can do it that way too, and then we'd apply it, but I'm going to have it sticking with 2. Sorry about that. And then what am I going to do? My tree trunk. So I'm going to use the same tree layer, and actually we need to always need to make this. This is because my grass and train title layers are locked, I can draw a big old square around, and all I'm grabbing is that tree layer. Whereas if they weren't locked, I'd probably grab a lot of other stuff. But now I've selected, I'm going to go modify, convert to symbol, and this is going to be treetop. Okay. Then I'm going to draw with a rectangle tool. And I'm going to do this on the same line, on the same layer, because I'm going to ultimately, it's going to be one piece, so it really doesn't matter that there's a top and a bottom to the tree. So this time I'm going to change my colors. I'm going to have, and I'm doing this just for speed. Oh, missed him. There we are. And then my inside. And if you can draw better than me, please feel free. I'm going to go just draw. It doesn't matter if it bites through a bit right now. And I want to grab him and then I nudge him along. And if for some reason you ended up drawing the tree trunk over here, when you move it over, you might want to go up to modify. You come down to a line, and that way you can do arrange. You can do bring to front and bring to forward, but my tree trunk is already in a good position. But you know this? I can see a little bit here where the tree trunk is like wider than it really should be. So I'm just going to do my free transform tool and nudge him in a little bit. How does that look? Oh, now this is a good idea that I've done this, because I just selected the inner tree trunk. I forgot the line. So as you can see, bingo, I forgot the line. I'm going to go back and I double click to get all of it, and then I can nudge it forward. Double click to grab the line and the trunk, the fill. So that kind of makes sense. There we are, Control S to save. Oh my god, he's looking lopsided already. I am so not an artist. Okay, now what we'll have to do for this one is we're going to convert the whole thing to F8. This is going to be our tree. There it is. And if you want, at this point, you could pull out another one. You could have a whole forest. Okay, I do apologize for the drawing. Anyone could do better than me. All right, now, continuing with the tutorial, we're going to begin to draw the railway track using, here's our railway track, using the line tool. So lock tree, get yourself a layer. We're going to call this rail track, something along those lines. And then what we're going to do is click on the line tool, and in the properties panel I'm going to have a black line tool. I'm going to make sure that it's 2 and solid. There's all sorts of different lines. Oh, that might be a good one. I'll stick with solid. And then I draw from here. Bing. Hold shift, you get a nice straight line. And then I'm going to convert this. So I got the selection tool and I clicked on the line, and F8, this is going to be track line, something like that. And then I'm going to pull another instance of it out. I'm grabbing them both and moving them up. Let's see what we've got so far. Control Enter. Taking shape. And Control S to save. Okay. And we've got our graphic symbol. You know, which one did I have? This was the new one, wasn't it? What another way you could do is you could click on this one and you go up to Edit Copy, and then you want to edit Paste in Place. It looks like there's only one, but if I use the downward arrow, it's in exactly the same place as the one above it, which is quite handy. So far so good. And then we're going to use, you can resize and rotate objects using the free transform tool. So we're going to make the bars between the railway track now, these little ones. So we're going to reuse track line. You know, I know you're sitting there thinking, I could just draw the lines, but I'm doing this to go through some basics of Flash, and this is an easy way to learn it. So I'm going to drag this out. There's our line symbol. I'm going to get the free transform tool. I'm going to make it teeny totty. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm showing that you can rotate, and then I'm going to fix it so that it's exactly the right size. Shift, and then so it takes a bit of nudging to get into space to get it the right line. Is that vaguely like it now? Almost. You know, delete. It's going to be easier just to draw the thing, isn't it? I will make it 1 pixel this time. I'm going to draw here, and then what we'll do is it's going to be a symbol, and then we'll just repeat the symbol. So I grab it with the select tool, I clickety-click. Alright, modify, convert to symbol, and I'm going to call it track. And then you drag them into place and nudge them along. Now I'm going to disappear for a little while because I don't think you really want to watch me do this terribly. It might be interesting, it may not. And click. And when I come back, I'm going to have a whole row of nicely laid out tracks, but don't get yourself in a spin about distributing the tracks evenly. I'm going to show you a quick trick how to do that. So just lay out your slats, and I'll be back in a minute. So here we go. I'm going to do Control Enter to generate. There we are. So see, it doesn't really matter if it's kind of hanging off the edge over the grey. Doesn't matter at all. It's not visible. It's limited by the boundary size of actually the background, which is 500 by 300. There's our SWF. Okay. Now, I told you I was going to show you how to put all of these, distribute all of the railway track lines evenly. So everything is locked except the rail track. So what I would do is I grab my rail track and I'm going to hold the shift key And no, is it control? Yay. I want to deselect. I want everything except my tracks. I need to get rid of this. Okay, come on. Oh, am I going to have to do this one by one? Alright. I click on a track, I hold the shift key, and click, click, click. There's an easier way, you know, you just grab the whole thing and deselect the railway line, not the rail tracks that I'm trying to get. Man. Picky, picky. Exit. And I lost them all. Typical. Click. Okay. Ah, there we go. Got him. So I grabbed everything. I hold the shift key and then I can click the big long lines either side. Okay, so far so good. Now, what you need to do is we're going to align them. So what we do is we go up to modify, and then you want align, and then distribute widths. And I'm going to undo because they were already perfect, but they will all align in the right direction. Control, direct, enter. So don't sweat trying to lay them out perfectly the first time. You can always align them afterwards. Now our railway track is almost ready, and we're going to select all of this, and we're going to make this, modify, convert to symbol, track full. I'm going to call it full so that I know everything's on it. See, you're getting a little picture of everything here. Line, track, line, full, and so on and so forth. So, this is what we have so far.